really adding to this week. It's just, it's been a great week. I'm having such a good time. So thank you. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly reading vlog, and this week I'm trying to finish out my TBR for April. It's not going to happen because I have quite a few books. Let me actually get the other two rather than the one that I was going to start with. Hang on. So we have 3 books from my April TBR that I would like to finish in this week. I don't think I'm going to get to all 3 of them. I do have 9 days off work, which is fantastic. Today was my last early shift at work, so now I've got a week off and I'm so ready to have a week off, but I'm extremely busy. For the first 5 days, I have got something planned for every single day. It is so busy, it's unreal. So we'll see how much reading I actually get done. Tomorrow, I would definitely get a big chunk of reading done because I am going to be in the hospital for about 6 to 8 hours, depending on how it all goes. So I'm going to be sat there for a long time, just part of my usual every 6 months I have medication because I have a long-term health condition. I mention it every so often, it's not something I talk about much. So I've got plenty of reading time tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm thinking to take Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee with me. This is the one that you all voted on for me to read in the month. Every single month in my TBR games I have prompt with 2 options for you to choose between for the month, and that one with the most votes is the one I read. This is the one that won. I'm really intrigued by this one. This one we're following a university student who decides to start stealing art from galleries to give back to the countries that it has been originally stolen from. I really like that concept. I feel like there's a lot of things that we could explore in this book. So yeah, I really am intrigued by this one. And I've had this one on my shelves for 2 years now, 2.5 years. It's been a while, so it's about time I get it read. So I'm very excited to read this one. I think it's going to be a good time. So that is what I'm planning to do tomorrow. I'm probably also going to take my laptop with me as well, just so I can get some editing done while I'm there. I'm there for a long time. I mean, it's chill, it's very relaxed. I get like tea and biscuits and a sandwich for lunch, and it's really relaxing. I always get a really nice comfy chair, but I have to have reading material with me. So we're going to start off with this one, and then during the week we'll see if we get to either of these. So we have How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. This is one that was also on my Tackle Your TBR readathon for the month, but I never read it because I ditched it and read a different book. But this is also on my TBR for April, so I probably should get it read, seeing as it was on both TBRs, and it is a book I've been putting off for, well, forever. I got this one when it first came out, but this one I got earlier than Portrait of a Thief, so it's been a while. I think this one's actually coming up on almost 3 years that I've had this book, so I should probably get that one read. But then I also have the book that I picked up for the reset video for April, which is The Trial of Lotta Ray by Siobhan McGowan. And this one, in my reset videos, I go out book shopping and I pick up one book that I just kind of feel like reading. Like, I don't tend to know much about it. I mean, this one, I'd never even heard of it before. I just saw it on the shelf, the spine caught my interest, read the back of it and fell in love with it. So I really want to get this one read as well, because I feel like this could be another underrated all-time favourite possibly. Although I do want to start keeping track of the books I get for the reset video and seeing whether I like them or not, because that would be really interesting to see the ratio of that. But yeah, this one I'm really intrigued by as well. So we've got these 3. I'm definitely going to be reading Portrait of a Thief because it is the one that you all voted on, so it's the one I'm going to start off with, and then we'll see what we get up to. This week, like I say, I've got loads planned. I've got the hospital appointment tomorrow, then I've got Kew Gardens on Wednesday, book shopping on Friday, and on the Tuesday and Thursday I have tattoo appointments. So it's going to be great. It's such a busy week. I've decided, because this is my week off before my birthday's in the middle of May, but I don't have any time off in May, so I've decided that I'm basically doing all my birthday things that I wanted to do in this week. So I'm very excited. I've been putting money aside for it, and I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be a great week. So you're going to come along with me. We're going to see how much we get read, and we're just going to go from there. I think that's enough chatting. So I hope you're all doing really well. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been up to, and tell me something really exciting that's happened to you this week. But for now, I'm going to go. So I'll catch up with you when I've actually read something. Yeah, I think 3 books is a bit ambitious. So we'll see. We'll see. Good morning. I am having quite a productive morning, which is really good. We've just filmed my summer TBR very, very early, but there are lots of things that are going to be happening in May and I don't know how much time I'm going to have to film, so you'll see more of that in the actual weekly vlog. But yeah, so I've been busy doing all of that, but let's update with the fact that I finished Portrait of a Thief yesterday. I just devoured this book. It worked out really well because, as we know, I was sat in the hospital for ages and I actually read the vast majority of this book while I was sat having my treatment done. It was a really nice chill time. I ended up with only 100 pages left, so by the time I got back over in the evening I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna finish it. And I tabbed it. I'm really happy with the tabs. They're blue and yellow tabs, which I'm very happy with. I mean, I have one extra one. I only had 3 tabs for this whole book. Oh no, I had 4. So 4 tabs for this book. Really enjoyed this one. I think it's really thought-provoking. I will say I do think it could have gone deeper into certain topics, but you know what, we'll just go through my tabs and then I'll be able to talk about the book as I go through the tabs. So we have the orangey yellow, which was for quotes that I love, and there was a lot of quotes that I loved, and we'll get into that in a second, because the second tab was this dark blue and that was for diaspora and struggling with identity. So this book is mainly a character study of these 4 Chinese American students that currently live in different parts of America and how they struggle to fit in because they never really feel like they're American enough to be seen as American, but also they're not Chinese enough to be seen as part of China, and the struggle that they have with that and how lonely that is, and you know, how do you know who you are if you feel so stuck in the middle and not accepted on either side. So it really, really explores that, and I really enjoyed that. I do think that was explored really well. I mean, I can't comment on the diaspora parts of that. Clearly I am English, but the loneliness, the struggling to fit in, the feeling of not being accepted anywhere, and even the expectations from your own family and how much of a struggle that can be to deal with, I just really connected to. I found this book really good, and I think it came at the right time for me because there's been a lot that's been going on and I've been struggling a little bit. So seeing 4 characters that were going through relatable struggles, again, not with the diaspora part, but with, I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly actually, but with the feeling of the weight of expectations, the feeling like you're never enough, like that, I was able to really connect to. So there are a lot of orange tabs that I just felt so connected to that in here, and then obviously a lot of dark blue because that is what this book really is about. Then we do have light blue. So this light blue, and that is for things like just the thoughtless racism that the characters were having to deal with, the silly comments that people would make. Like there was a point where at the very start of this book there is a art heist that's going on, and one of the main characters, Will, is there for it. He isn't a part of it, but he's there for it, and he's then getting questioned by the police, and they're like, well, you're Chinese and the art that was stolen is Chinese, so you know, you have to understand. And Will stops them. He's like, no, I'm American. I was born here in America just like you. And it's like those silly little things, people's preconceptions and how damaging that can be. Again, you get points of that in there. I do think that could have been explored a little bit more, but I understand it because for these 4 characters it's so normal to them and they do actually comment on that, which was really, really sad to think about. It's really frustrating to think that if they're in China, so they've gone back home, they've gone to China, and then they start talking American, the weird looks that American tourists then give them for being able to talk American, or being in Chinatown and talking American, or think it's those sort of senseless things that people do without even thinking about, and yet it's so, I mean, it's a form of racism in my view, because you're judging people because of the way they look, and so I do think that could have gone into it a bit more, but again, understandable because they deal with this every single day. And then the last tab that I have is purple. So this purple, and that is for the part about the actual art museums that have artwork from times of colonization. So when they stole the artwork from other countries and then refusing to give it back is still an act of colonialism. That is what I was expecting more of in this book. I was expecting that to be more of the focus of this book, because the premise of this book book is that we have this art student who decides enough is enough and starts stealing art that has been stolen from countries and given them back to the countries they were stolen from. However, yes, that is going on, and yes, you do have some of the heist moments and stuff, which made this for a really quick read, so perfect to read during the one sitting that well, 2 sit-ins, but it made for a really quick read yesterday, which worked really well, kept me really engaged. The actual talk about the colonialism part and the aspect of it wasn't the focus. It was actually more of the focus of these 4 characters and that feeling of trying to belong, trying to understand what their identity is and who they want to be and what do they want out of life rather than just what their family wants out of life. Like all these different things, you really got to know these characters, you got to see their interactions. So you've got the 4 characters, you've got Will, you've got Irene, they are brother and sister, you've got Daniel, and you've got, oh no, there's 5. You've got Lily and you've got Anna, and they all kind of know each other through each other and they start building these friendships. Some of them are more rivals than actual friends, and you just see the people that they start growing into. And at the end of this book, I will say I think the ending was drawn out a little bit because you swap perspective. Every chapter is a different perspective. So at the ending of this, you got 5 chapters of them coming to the end and settling, but you got that 5 times. So I did find that a little bit drawn out. It was understandable to cover the 5 different perspectives. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing these characters grow. I enjoyed seeing the topics that they were tackling, but I can see why people going into this wanting more of the art heist story and having more focus on that act of colonization, because it's a very relevant topic. That wasn't the main focus. So I can understand why some people may not get on with this, but I think if you're going into this for a character study, looking at young Chinese American students that are really struggling with their identity, this is a really good book for that. So yeah, I personally really enjoyed this. I found this really fascinating and it's probably something I will reread eventually. But yeah, it was really good. I wouldn't say it's a new favourite, but I'm very pleased I actually got around to reading this one. So that was amazing that I got that finished in one day. I wasn't expecting to. I thought maybe I'd get half of it read, but no, I finished the whole thing, which was great. So now we have the rest of the week to read more, but as I said, I've got a really, really busy week, so the reading time is not going to be as much. I am going to focus on The Trial of Lotte Ray next because this is the book that I bought specifically to read in April, although I have been told by my sister that How to Kill Your Family is a really good book. She found it entertaining to read, so I want to get round to that one. We'll see if I can read this one and finish it up because the text isn't too bad and it is 380 pages, which is not bad considering the text. Like the font of this seems pretty readable. So I'm going to start this day. I'm actually going over to my partner's in the evening, so I'll bring this one with me. I think this one's going to be another one that tackles a really good topic because you do have Lotte Ray, who is attacked by a wealthy gentleman. She seeks justice and Old Bailey trial alongside her barrister William, who she believes to be her ally, and instead the verdict goes against Lotte. She realises that the Guardians of Justice, they don't support her, they don't believe her, and 12 years later, as the suffragettes rise and the ghost of World War I looms large over London, William is joined again by Lotte Ray, and so now they're going to travel to a fateful destination where truths must be faced and wrongs will be righted. So I think this one's going to be a really good, impactful read, and I think I could get a lot out of this one, so I would like to read this one next. I'm in the mood for historical fiction. Yeah, we're gonna read that. So that is the plans. Like I say, today I'm actually quite busy. I want to do some food soon, and then I've got my tattoo appointment, which I'm really looking forward to, then over to my partner's, and then we've got Kew Gardens tomorrow. I imagine I'll probably be able to read a little bit tonight, read some more tomorrow evening. I think that's when I'm going to be able to really knuckle down and get into that book. Will be tomorrow evening, maybe do like a 2-hour reading session. That is the plans. Really, really pleased. You know what? We got one book down, which is amazing. Even if we just get to one more, that's absolutely fine. Good day yesterday, and I feel so much better in myself. I don't know if you can tell with the energy level change, but the last couple of weeks I've been really struggling. I've been so worn out all the time, and now I've finally had my medication. I feel so energized. I've got so much energy. Like, it's weird. It's weird because I've been so tired for so long and the smallest of tasks would really drain my energy, and now I just feel like I've got an abundance of energy and it is amazing. I am so happy right now. But right, okay, I need to do an update for another video and then I'm gonna do some food. morning. I honestly expected to be updating tomorrow morning, but you know what? The house is quiet. It's still quite bright out, so let's just get on with this. I have had a really good day. So I spent the day in Kew Gardens today. It was lovely. I really enjoyed it. Kew Gardens is someone that I've always wanted to go, just never have. And it was so nice. It was really cold, really cold today. It feels like we're back in winter. It was only 7 degrees, but it was lovely. I loved all the greenhouses and it was really nice. I'm really pleased I got to go. It was definitely something I've always wanted to do, so really pleased that we did that. And then we also tried this lasagna restaurant afterwards where you could have a trio of 3 different lasagnas. They had like 21 different lasagna options. It wasn't bad actually. I think for the price it was really good and honestly tasty. It was good fun, like I enjoyed it. It's just today overall has been really good, and yesterday it was another really good day. I went to the library for my reset video, so that's all done. Obviously I'll update that probably tomorrow morning. Got all of that done, so that was really nice. Spent a bit of time in a coffee shop and then got my tattoo done, which it looks like this. I'm really pleased with it. Like I'm so happy with it. So yeah, been a really good couple of days, and the book I'm reading has been equally as good. So I am reading The Trial of Lotta Ray and I'm up to chapter 13, page 99, and I'm having a really good time with this. So I started reading it before I got my tattoo done because I had about an hour, so I decided to sit in a coffee shop, and then I read a little bit more while I was getting my tattoo done. This is really good. It makes me angry. This book makes me angry at the situation that Lotta Ray is in. So it is set in 1906. We are looking at Lotta Ray and how on Halloween night she is assaulted, and she is assaulted by a gentleman, so someone of means. She doesn't want to deal with that. Like she just wants it all to go away. She doesn't want to have to go like persecute this man. She doesn't want any of that. She just wants it all to leave. But her father's really adamant. No, we are trusting in the law. We are trusting in justice. We will get this right. You cannot let this man walk away. You're seeing 2 timelines and 2 perspectives. So we are following William, the person who was meant to be on Lotta's side, that was representing her in court, and then you have Lotta's perspective. And the 2 different timelines, you have them of this more present day where it's been 12 years later and they're meeting up and they've gotten into this carriage together, and you're seeing it from both of their points of view. So you'll see them both thinking about the other person that sat in the carriage, and then they're both thinking back on what happened in the past. So you're getting both their points of view of what happened. And obviously what happened is Lotta Ray went through an absolutely terrible ordeal, and how in the courtroom she was then picked apart. Every single thing that she did was picked apart and questioned, and are you sure you didn't want this? Are you sure you didn't leave? And it's awful. And the thing is, it's a really valid failing of our justice system, not just in the past but also now. How rape cases are handled is atrocious. You know, it really is awful how it all gets pulled apart, and William is obviously the person that's meant to be leading her case forward to get this persecution done. Instead he ends up getting bought off, and you see that even though he believes her, even though he knows that this did happen to Lotta, he's still gonna watch her come out of court as a liar. It's so annoying and frustrating and vexing, and some of the things that they say, like it's not an easy book to read. So I wouldn't recommend this if you're triggered by some of these things, because it is hard to read and it makes you angry, but it's a really easy read at the exact same time. Like I'm flying through this because I don't want to put it down. It's so readable. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I'm looking forward to see what else happens and what's going on. Yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying this one, and it's one that I've never ever heard anyone talking about. It should be talked about a bit more because it's a very powerful story. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So it's been really good. I've had a really good couple of days. I've had some really good books, and I have book mail. So let's open it because I do believe this one is a gift. There is no gift receipt. I did get a message from Janice saying that she got me a book just to say thank you for all of your booktube content and that she thinks it's awesome. So thank you so much. And what I got is Middlemarch by George Eliot. Oh my god, this is such an intimidating book, but look how beautiful it is. I mean, it's a massive classic book. We have Middlemarch is a moving story of men and women longing to do the right thing but making bad decisions. Among them is Dorothea Brooke, who wants to improve the world but finds her idealism is crushed by her unhappy marriage to the aged scholar Casaubon, and Dr. Lydgate, whose shallow spendthrift wife threatens his dreams of medical progress. So Middlemarch looks over the whole of the human existence: art, faith, science, politics, and love. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving this one a try. I'm definitely gonna have to be in the mood for it because she's a chunky one. Let's see, how many pages? Oh, just over 900 pages long, but I think it's going to be lovely. I love these editions. This is the English library edition, which I absolutely adore. So thank you so much, Denise, for this. You really didn't have to, but thank you so much. This is just really adding to this week. It's just, it's been a great week. I'm having such a good time, so thank you so much. But yeah, I think that's it for this evening. I want to get some washing done and tidy up my room a bit because it's a bit of a mess, and then we've got tattoo number 2 tomorrow, so I'm going to get on and do all of that. I'm also going to have a good reading session of The Trial of Lotte Ray today, I think, because that would be really nice. Maybe try and sit and read for another hour or so this evening. But I do need to get a few bits done, so I'm going to crack on with all of that, and I will catch up with you, I think the morning that I go book shopping. Maybe Friday morning. God, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. This is such a good week. I'm having a grand old time. Good morning. We are in for a busy couple of days, but before we get to that, let's go over what I've been up to. So Thursday I did have my second tattoo done. Didn't really film that one because it was a bit of an awkward one. I was having to like lay on my side and stuff while they got that done. Really pleased with how it looks. I will try and put a picture of it up for you. Really happy with this. This was the tattoo artist's own design and I really like it. I'm very happy with it. So I'm really pleased I got those done. And then yesterday I did go book shopping with my dad and we have a stack because I went a little bit crazy because that's going to be the last big book shopping that I do for a long time now. Because yesterday I also picked up keys to my own flat, which I'm very excited about. So what I'm planning to do is create a separate video that's all about the move, because I'll be living on my own, what that's going to be like. I am only renting, just to get that out of the way. I'm only renting, but yeah, so that's the plan. So you'll probably see like little bits in vlogs. You'll be seeing things as like I move stuff, but I'm going to be doing it slowly over like the next 3 and a bit weeks. So yeah, so that's what we're busy doing for the next couple of days. Now, reading wise, I did read a bit more of The Trial of Lotte Ray. I'm actually almost finished. I'm up to chapter 39, page 327. I have about 50-ish pages left to go of this book and I've been really enjoying it. It's also really evolved past just the trial. So obviously I was saying the trial was so frustrating because you see what women have to go through, the way they're treated, and some of just like the beliefs that were back then is just ridiculous when it comes to things like this. But it goes beyond just that. You see the fallout, aftermath of what happens with the trial, the way it affects Lotte, the way it affects William, our barrister. Was it barrister? The person that was meant to be supporting Lotte who didn't because he got bought out, and the repercussions on both of their lives for the years to come. It also looks at the suffragettes and goes into a little bit about how the women were treated and their hunger strikes and just some of the really brutal things that have happened. And then we have World War I, which is also very devastating. Now those parts were only lightly touched on because it's only how much it affects Lotte in a sense, and as much as she does get involved with the suffragettes a little bit later, it's not to the extent as some of the others. Like there's different moving parts that affect things, but I really like it. Like this is a really interesting book and it's so easily readable and it's just really works on your emotions, I think. So for me, I'm really enjoying this, and I do think this will probably be a book I end up rereading eventually. Definitely not for a long time, but it's one that I'm pleased that I've read. So this has been good. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to end. We've just had a little bit of heartbreak and sorrow, which, you know, we saw coming, but at the same time it didn't lessen how sad it was. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to everything, because I mean, poor Lotta, she's been through so much, and it's just, it's so heartbreaking, and you see a bit of her revenge plan, and I mean, I really am liking this one. It's a good, but I've got such an itchy nose. I feel like there must be cat fur on it or something. Anyway, really enjoying this one. It's really good. Hopefully I'll be finishing this evening, and then I've got to decide, do I try and squeeze in How to Kill Your Family, knowing that we're on Saturday and I'm really not going to get that finished, or whether I just start a new weekly reading vlog fresh tomorrow and we start with May's reads, because May is a really busy month. I've got so much to do, so I might do that and just get ahead of a few things. But yeah, today we are going over to the flat. I want to do a couple of runs of some stuff because I counted my books and I realise I have 522 books, give or take 3 or 4 here and there, because obviously human, infallible and all of that. But yeah, so that is a lot of books. So I'm going to be doing a run today and then measuring stuff for the flat, because as much how the flat looks, I can't wait for the transformation that I've got planned. I've done it more for the size than what's actually there, knowing that I was going to be changing it up to how I want it to be. So I'm going to be the first run dropping off a few things and measuring a few stuff, and then I would like to do another run today trying to shift some books, because the books are going to be the biggest part. Everything else that I have in my room is clothes, shoes, bags, like that's not that bad to move, but the books, that's going to be the hardship. So we'll see how much we get done. You might see a little bit of like snippets here and there in vlogs to come, but like I say, I'm planning to do a dedicated separate video for it, which I'm very excited about. And of course, the bookshelves. Oh, I'm so excited for all of this, but all of that will probably be coming toward the end of May, beginning of June time. But yeah, very exciting, lots of changes, but it's been a bit stressful, but it's been a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to it. Also nervous. Anyway, right, I need to stop waffling. My brother is waiting for me because he wants to come and see the flat, so I'm going to start getting myself ready, and I'll probably wrap up Sunday morning once I've finished this book, and we'll get started next week with May's reading. I think that's probably the smartest move. The Trial of Lotta Ray last night, and this was a really good ending. Like, I actually really liked this book overall. I think it was really powerful, really poignant. The things that it details upon are frustrating and you just want to shout at characters, but it was really good. I really liked the way that this was written. I liked the fact that we were looking at not just Lotta's perspective but also William's perspective, the things that were going on during this time and how difficult it was. It was really well done. I really enjoyed this one. I do think it's really underrated. So if you do like historical fiction, you want a book that really looks at the suffragette movement, the First World War, the experience women went through during this time, then maybe give give this one a try. I think it was really good. And obviously you have the trial and everything Lotte Ray went through and the corruption of man, really. It was really, really good, really powerful, and I loved seeing the effects that this had on both of these characters throughout their life, the repercussions, the ripple effect that happened because of it all. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed this. So yeah, I would highly recommend. I'm pleased that I picked this one up. It's definitely one that I've never heard of before. It was just one that honestly I didn't even see. I actually dropped a book in the store. So on my reset video I go shopping. I think I mentioned this already, but I go book shopping and the idea is to have a look for a book that I don't really know anything about that just tickles my fancy. And I was having a look at another book and I dropped it, like butterfingers, completely dropped it, fell on the floor, and I bent down to pick it up and I saw the spine of this on the bottom shelf and I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. Read the back and I decided, actually, you know what, this is the one I want to go for. And I'm so pleased that happened, because if it hadn't, I never would have picked this one up. I never would have even known about this one. Even if you look on Goodreads, there's less than 1,000 reviews for this book, but it's so good. So I would really, really recommend, if you do like historical fiction, as I mentioned, like just give this one a try. Even if you just pick it up from your library or something, it's worth it. And I'd be really interested to see what you think if you do pick it up, or if you have already read this one, do let me know, because it's definitely one that I think needs a bit more love than what it's getting. Like if I was to do another underrated book recommendations video, this would be on there, because it was just so unexpectedly powerful but also really, really readable. It was really good. I really enjoyed this. It was, yeah, just so much better than I thought it was going to be. But we are kind of at the end of this weekly reading vlog, and I've been editing it and I realised that this weekly reading vlog is actually about 10-15 minutes shorter than my usual one, but it's just been a very busy time, and then I didn't end up filming as much b-roll as I thought I would when I went book shopping. I just had so much fun with the book shopping and stuff, I just ended up not really filming. So yeah, it's been a busy time. Yesterday we did a couple of runs to the flat. I decided not to film any of that yesterday, kind of keeping that for more of the moving vlog, which hopefully, I think by the time I've got it actually done, it's probably going to be coming out in June. I'm really excited. It was really nice to actually feel like I've got stuff there. It's a bit overwhelming with the amount I've got to move, because I didn't realise how much I fitted into this bedroom. It's also really nice to do, so I went and did that. My brother was helping me. He was a massive help actually, so that was really good. So we managed to do like 3 runs, moving a few books. Like it was a nice little dent. I've still got like 430-ish books to go, but it was a good start. I'm really pleased with it. I don't think I'm going to do any today because it's raining, so we'll see how much I actually get done if I decide to do a run to the flat today. I'm not sure, but I do have loads of filming I want to do, because I want to film the book haul video, because obviously I did the book shopping. I also need to film the wrap up, because these are the books that I read for this weekly reading vlog are the last 2 books I'm reading for April, so need to film that. So I've got a few bits to do. We'll see. If it stops raining in the afternoon, I might do it. If not, leave it. Yeah, that's it really. Did some cooking yesterday and it was quite nice actually. The only thing that I find, so I use oat cream because I find normal milk messes with my stomach. So I have oat milk, and instead of normal cream I have oat cream. Cheese is okay, but milk is what really messes with me. The only problem I have when using the oat cream is that even when it's their like equivalent to double cream, it's still really runny like a single cream, so it makes trying to do sauces always really watery. Well, it's not it's creamy, but it's very thin, so I don't really know how to thicken that up. I mean, I suppose I could try flour. I don't know. Regardless, the sauce was very nice. It was just very thin. It would have been better if I'd had it in a bigger bowl, and that would have been a bit easier, but yeah. It was a nice tasty one, and it was quick to do, and I've got leftovers for today, which is great. If you've got any recommendations on how to thicken up oat cream, that would be really helpful, whether it is just trying flour or something, that would be helpful. I'm going to stop going on a tangent and actually go back through what we read this week. So only 2 books read this week, but I'm very happy with both of them. It ended up being a very busy week, so the fact that I got 2 read was great. So we started off the week reading Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee, and this was really good. I really enjoyed this one. It is classed as like a crime literary book, and yes it is, because you do have these 5 students that are stealing artwork to give back to the original country, so China, that it was taken from, and it does talk a lot about colonialism and how keeping art that has been stolen during these times of colonization is still an act of colonizing because they're not giving them back. But it was definitely more of a character study and an exploration of belonging more than anything else. Like, that is what it was really about. You really got to know these characters, really got to feel for them, really got to understand how they feel so kind of in between, because they're Chinese American, and so they're not Chinese enough for China and they're not American enough for America, and how horrible that can feel because you don't feel like you fit in anywhere, and the way people view you as a result. And you know, it was really, really heartfelt, so I really enjoyed that exploration. And as we know, I did tab this one. I had a really nice time annotating this one. I just thought it was really interesting and heartfelt. Would recommend this one as well, but don't go into it expecting the crime, art theft at the forefront, because it is there, but it's definitely more of a character study. And then we have The Trial of Lotta Ray, which, to be fair, I could have annotated because I did really enjoy it, and there was definitely a lot you could annotate in this book. I was a bit too busy, so it was nice just to have this one as an easy read, even though it was hard hitting, but it was a very easy read at the exact same time. So I did really enjoy this one as well. So honestly, it's been a really good reading week. I can't complain. I've had two unexpectedly really good books, because this one I'd never heard of, and Portrait of the Thief I've been putting off for like 2.5 years. So it was really good to actually get these ones read and read some books that, you know, I didn't expect to enjoy quite as much as I thought I would. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased. You'll have to let me know if you've read either of these and what you thought of them. But I think that's it for this weekly reading vlog. So thank you so much. Oh, I know I didn't show off any of the books that I bought apart from that quick overview, but that is because I'm about to film a book haul, and that will be coming to you on the 12th of May. No, it's not. It's coming to you on the 19th of May. 12th of May is a Cozy Murder Mysteries recommendation video. But yeah, 19th of May, you'll be getting all the books that I got in there. There's just so many to go through. I just didn't want to sit here and film it here to then film it again. I just, no. Anyway, right, I'm still rambling, so I am going to go. Like I say, I've got lots of filming to do this morning, so I'm going to crack on with all of that. Thank you so much for watching. I think if you've made it this far, what do we put? Is there like a frame emoji? Or an art, put something art related in the comments below. If you've made it this far, you just don't know what you want to comment, you can leave that there to let me know that you were here. And thank you once again for watching. I know I say it so many times when I'm wrapping up these videos, but I really do appreciate the time that you take to sit there and watch these videos and listen to me ramble. Like, it is so lovely, and I love being able to connect with you all in the comments and everything. It's just been so delightful to grow this community, so genuinely thank you so much. And if you have enjoyed this video, then please do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing, commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.